Okay, so we're back here. Well, we didn't really leave. This is my workshop. We cut out, these are all of the side pieces that we have for our cabinets. This will be a 24-inch one that'll go above the refrigerator. It can only be 17 inches tall because we've got an 88-inch ceiling. And the refrigerator is 69.5 inches to the hinge, but we're going to give a little extra inch and a half above that for the cabinet. These are the upper cabinets that are full length, and these will be, let's see, wait, where's the ones for, oh, there they are. This will be for the microwave because it's going to be reduced because we've got the microwave in there. And these are all the base cabinet pieces. So what we'll do, this is what's known as a dado cut. Now, I did a couple of these to make sure that I had it tight. And what we're going to do is we've got a stacked dado set here. You know, they used to have a wobble blade, and I think I still do. And it was basically you would dial it, and it would tilt the blade, you know, to make that cut. It was from Craftsman, but they ended up realizing that it was hazardous, and they've changed having those. They don't have those anymore. So this is a stackable set, carbide tipped, and I have it set at 1/4 inch. For the base ones, the fence will be right here beside it because we're just going to end up making it so it's an end dado. The upper cabinets, this will be 1.5 inches over because that'll give us the extra meat to hold the shelf on the bottom of it. It's really important when you have the microwave because the microwave is going to be going through it. If it were just an end dado like that, it could actually slip out. So you want to have that, and you also want to have a little extra meat, 1.5 inches for our face frame to hide that cut and make it look more consistent and have the layover doors to be able to lay on it. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up, and just like an assembly line, I'll go through and cut those dados. Then I'll come back and I'll stack it up so that way we're just cutting our 1/4 inch notch for the back plywood. Okay, so the next thing we're going to take care of is the base pieces. And we're going to basically make that a butt one. So instead of having the lip, this is going to be flush. And I'm teaching Mike how to do all this. It's the same thing. Nice and clean that cut is. Look at that. And so now the cross pieces will go in here for our cabinets. These will be very, very strong cabinets. So Mike, I'm going to do that to all of those. While he's doing that, I'm working on cleaning up the shop. I've got all this old antique heart pine that needs to be cleaned up and finished, and I'm working on doing that. right, so the last step we have is now we're going to cut the notch on the back of it. So I'll set that up. Okay, so what we have is we have actually another fence here. We have our dado blade that's raised up about a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch out. And we're just basically going to go through and we're just going to end up just recutting on one side like this. And that will give us where we're going to put our 1/4 inch plywood backing on. All right, so what you see down here now is all of these pieces are now ready to be put together for a cabinet. So you've got your dado. We'll cut 11-inch wide piece to go in here, and then we end up putting the plywood on that, and that gives us our carcass. And you look at how nice the finish is on here, it will be easy to go ahead and do. And so we have all the side pieces. The cross sections are easy because they're just 11 inches or 23 inches wide and cut to the length that you need of the cabinet. You basically take 1.5 inches off the finished size. So if you want a 24-inch cabinet, you end up making a 22.5 inch piece to go across. Add a 1/2 inch for this one, a 1/2 inch for the other one. That will give you 23 and a half. And then you have a 1/4 inch on each side for the face frames. If you have to mill them or if the walls are off, it gives you room to work with. So that's how easy it is, at least working and building cabinets here in my workshop. The thing I'm doing over here now, though, is, let me show you guys this. This is all old reclaimed lumber. Most people look at this and say, what do you keep that old ass board for? Well, here's what we're doing. Those over there, look at this. Now, this board right here is not in the best of shape, but I think it's got a lot of character in it. So I'm going to make actually a cabinet. This is going to become the countertop for our cast iron skillets and things. And we'll fill this in with an epoxy for all those checks that are in there. So it'll show the time. I love it. We have more pieces that are getting ready to go in. And we're basically using a thickness sander to mill them out. So as you watch this go, take it off a pin level layer at a time. I don't want to put this in a planer because if you miss a nail, you screwed up some blades. Well, hello good people, Mark Holmes here, and as always I appreciate each and every one of you guys. What do you see right here? What do you see right here? This looks like some ugly ass wood, doesn't it? This, my friends, is some pieces of wood from the red brick house from when we did the renovations. What's crazy about this is this right here is one piece of wood. Now what I want you to understand this is slow growth old pine trees. They grow about 1 inch in 30 years. This is about 13, 14 inches wide. So 13 inches times 30. So we'll just say this piece of wood took about 300 years to grow. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to try and pull out the nails, and I'm going to run this through my thickness sander, and you can see where they had wallpaper and everything else that was on here. and try and see what we get when we finish sanding it. What I'm doing is, this is all scrap wood that I had from the red brick house, and I just kind of piled it all up in here, and just now kind of trying to organize and clean up my workshop so I have more space in here again. And I didn't realize I had these pieces this big, and you can see these are old hand cut and forged nails that are about 200 years old. Let's go see what it's going to become.